Hello there, my human family. Thank you for joining Joy today. We're here for Human Story Hour, reframing the human story. Spherologically is a word that I'm going to introduce today. As we are all a cell in the body of creation, we're all working from the center out in this new paradigm, and we are becoming whole. We are from the center radiating out. There's only supposed to be 12 slices of the pie in this context, but ultimately the pie is infinite as it just goes on and on and on. But in the middle is the heart of creation, where we see out like it's the iris. The center of the flower is the heart. So this is in a new way to approach reality in spiral time. We will speak from sphere, I, logical matter. So sphere, I, logical. Spherological connects with astro logical. As everything is a circle, our solar system goes round and round the sun, as every planet in our solar system goes round and round the sun. And why we are so blessed and glorified in the Trinity is in the solar system, we the earthlings and the earth are the third rock from the sun in the harmonics of our solar system. So this is why astrologics and spherological reality is coming into full form again. Everything that I'm sharing here, I believe, is from the ancestors. So we're restoring the ancient wisdom for our future. So we're speaking into an ancient future. So as I found just so dear and so helpful as being a student of the I Ching, well, first a student of the Christ at the center of all things, as God is the heart of creation, then blooming out from there, coming into astrological context, has been taboo in our time because they didn't want us with such a personal interior to this reality, so that if we don't have the inner template in place, then the energies can remote control the world. So right now we're putting back the owner's manual, the spherological content into the human experience as we are telling the human story in a fresh light. And with this, I'm going back to using Dane Rudger's an astrological mandala, the cycles of transformation and its 360 symbolic phases. Like there's a fortune cookie in every step around 360 degrees as we're growing through into a new age. We're not growing into a new age. I'm not a new age person, truly. As I frame it, I call it a true age. We're coming into the true age. Nothing is going to be new. It's going to be refreshed, but God created in the beginning. Yeshua came to remind, and we were given the privilege of doing greater works than even Yeshua. So we get to reimagine ourselves like entering the kingdom. When they say like a child is how we enter. If I think about it in our time we're coming out of, when you're a child, people will just glow and radiate with you and be like, so smart, they're so beautiful, look at their talent and all of this. And then when one goes to school, you get in trouble for that. At least that was my experience. I was so scrambled through school because I came in with an innate wisdom of something already assembled in my soul that was contrary to the order of what was established by some artificial intelligence. And therefore I was the odd man out. And anybody standing in truth would be on medication to get to the other paradigm, the false matrix. Is how it's coming through me to understand. Because right now all the evidence is coming out. In the world, it is a time of revelations, like to reveal everything that we never saw before, that we were really living in like Donkey Islands Incorporated and monopolies are us here in the West, and that we were just sold like every commercial. I spoke to a generation that came before a moment ago, and they were like in the boomer, and I'm like in the Generation X, and I was like, you guys were given Leave It to Beaver, and my generation was given like the Partridge Family and the Brady Bunch, everything was breaking down by the time we were coming in. And yet we're all told to just like enjoy ourselves, go to Disneyland, just keep yourself entertained. So anyway, right now we're just making a sense of all the things that we have come through that we can now join in this new story. So this is a transformational, like fortune cookies going around the circle. And no 2 days are the same in God's creation. So the sun goes around at a certain pace, and all the other planets have their own pace and frequency that they go around. So when you're working in a circle, if you get a 15 degrees of a planet here and a 15 degrees of a planet there, it's how in geometry, sacred geometry, when they align in sacred geometry mathematics, it's like Lily Tomlin, it's a ringy dingy. It's like a little signals being sent. We are in this like firing of all these signals, but it's in a sphere. It's not just wide and vast beyond. Everything is contained. Each individual, each entity has its own container if allowed to radiate with the laws of the universe and not hijacked by dumb artificial intelligence. Like, friends, it's in the name, right? It's artificial intelligence. And then you abbreviate it to AI, which is 19, which comes to a previous event that we had about 5 years ago when you use the number 19 is the letters AI. Think about it. So here we are, just coming back into the glory of reality by dreaming a new dream, which is not a new dream. It's just the true dream. So as I turn these pages, I thought I would just share the sort of progression through the year, as this is described in 4 parts, as is the seasons around the circle. Introduction, we have part 1, the interpretation of life cycles as closed series of archetypal phases. Part 2, the reformation in depth of the Sabian symbols. The contents, we're at, we started the process now with the first act, differentiation. Scene 1, desire. Scene 2, potency. Scene 3, stabilization. Scene 4, confirmation. Scene 5, discovery. Scene 6, exteriorization. This is all happening in the first part, which is Aries, Taurus, and Gemini. Scene 1 is Aries in 30 degrees. It's the first 15 degrees. In Aries, the scene 2 is potency, is from the 16th degree to the 30th degree of Aries. Scene 3, substantiation, is from Taurus, 1 degree to 15 degrees. The fourth scene is confirmation. Taurus, 16 to 30 degrees, the second sign of the zodiac. Scene 5, discovery, Gemini, in the 1st to 15 degrees of Gemini. Scene 6, exteriorization, Gemini, 16 through 30 degrees, bringing us then to the next act. Act 2, stabilization. Scene 7, decision, Cancer, degrees 1 through 15. Scene 9, combustion, Leo, 1 to 15, degrees. Scene 10, release, Leo, degrees 16 through 30. Scene 11, characterization, Virgo, degrees 1 through 15. Scene 12, education, Virgo, 16 through 30 degrees. The second hemicycle is the second half of the year. And we've come through the first seasons, really starting here, anywhere in the circle. Second hemicycle, the process of collectivization. Act 3, group integration. Scene 13, transfiguration, Libra, degrees 1 through 15, which we are in now. Scene 14, reconstruction, Libra, degrees 16 through 30. When I say we're in now, as the sun is moving through Libra. Scene 15, communion, is Scorpio, degrees 1 through 15. Scene 16, faith, Scorpio, degrees 16 through 30. Scene 17, abstraction, Sagittarius, degrees 1 through 15. Scene 18, transference, Sagittarius, 1 through 30 degrees. Act 4, capitalization. Scene 19, crystallization, Capricorn, degrees 1 through 15. Scene 20, group performance, Capricorn, degrees 1 through 30. Capricorn starts the winter. Scene 21, contribution, Aquarius, degrees 1 through 15. Scene 22, management, Aquarius, degrees 16 through 30. Scene 23, federation, Pisces, degrees 1 through 15. Scene 24, perpetuation, Pisces, degrees 16 through 30 is the last degrees in the full 360-degree cycle. At the end of this, past this collection of knowledge, Part 3, the numerical structure of the zodiacal series. We have to learn how to walk this spiral again together, friends. Part 4, the oracle and astrological use of the symbols. Why modern individuals seek answers from oracles. How to use the Sabian symbols as oracles, meaning as like something you pull out of a wishing well. We always are thinking of dropping pennies into the wishing well. What if the full circle of a wishing well is that you pull out the answer to a wish also? That you have to like do this activity of going towards and with the intention of what is one needing to receive, and how to use this as your birth chart, because in the moment that we're all born, there is a crystallized snapshot of where the planets and the asteroids and all the particles were in the circle. As you are a new circle, at that instant is our first relationship to the solar system, into the cosmos, is our natal chart, where it was in the moment that we were born. So with this, I'm going to proceed into where we are coming up to. I did the first share the first episode of this series for myself as Yo Joy to the World on the eclipse, the 29th degree of Virgo. So now we are all moving towards the full moon, and that will be in Aries. And there really is such a rhythm to this. You know, when we're in the sun sign, it's what is opposite the circle in the zodiac that is the full moon. It's that opposition that creates that fullness. So I look forward to just walking this spiral with you as well, and that we know that we are repairing creation. Someone shared about when 9/11 happened, and they called on Mr. Rogers to, who used to have such a respect and reverence in our time in history, to speak a few words to the catastrophe that was 9/11. And he felt inadequate to approach it. He wasn't a naturally authority living that way to think he had something to share. But as he drew into himself to call on the spirit of what could he potentially contribute to such a dire moment on the human timeline, he spoke of his sacred book as a Jewish person, if I'm remembering correctly, or the Bible at the minimum. One of the tribes from the Bible spoke of that we are the repairers of creation. And as we're going to move through this spiral together, and we're going to get our bearings to what is ahead and what is behind us in this time, spiral time, we're going to come to understand the destruction era that we're coming out of. That there's been energies and entities that have been impersonating the human experience to harvest the life force of the goodness that we were built to be as human beings, aka genuine intelligence here in this realm as Earth and Earthlings. in this world, but not of it. Where none of us are meant to be muggles, all right? We were all just raised to be like only a select few go to Hogwarts, and the rest are like, you know, living in the whole house, while the people that went to Hogwarts have to live in the closet, you know. Anyway, I look forward to unwinding this story together, and thank you for sharing this time. So with this moment, as we close this segment of this spiral time, I will say, be love, be truth, be joy.